we're heading straight to Brazil.
Brazil?
Yeah, where the Oscars, get this, are going to be happening right smack in the middle of Rio Carnival.
Wow.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's a wild combination.
We've got all these articles about Fernanda Torres and her, Oscar nom for I'm Still Here.
Oh, yeah, I'm Still Here. I've heard about that.
Yeah, and the timing of it all with Carnival is just, like, mind-blowing.
I can only imagine the energy in Rio right now. Must be electric.
Oh, for sure. But, okay, before we get too lost in the party vibes, let's focus on Fernanda Torres for a sec. So she's nominated for Best Actress.
Right.
Which, huge deal on its own. But here's the thing.
Okay.
She's only the second Brazilian actress to ever even be nominated in that category.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
And the first.
Yeah, who was the first?
Her mom,
No way, really?
Fernanda Montenegro.
Oh, of course, from Central Station.
Yeah. Talk about a cinematic dynasty.
Absolutely. I mean, that's incredible.
And to top it off, I'm Still Here is nominated for, like, everything.
What do you mean?
Best Picture, Best International Feature,
Oh, wow.
which is actually a first for Brazilian cinema.
So what is it about I'm Still Here that's got everyone so captivated?
Right. Like, what's all the buzz about?
Well, at its core, it tells the true story of Eunice Paiva. She was an activist, and her husband disappeared during Brazil's military dictatorship back in the 70s.
That's 70s, huh?
Yeah, heavy stuff, but it goes way deeper than just a historical drama. It stirred up all this debate.
Debate?
Yeah, I mean, there are strong reactions coming from both sides of the political spectrum.
Really? Wow. But how is a film about the 70s causing such a stir now?
Well, that's what's so interesting about it. It uses this really nostalgic, like 35mm style to recreate 1970s Rio.
Oh, I see.
But the story, it resonates with what's happening in Brazil today. Like some political groups see it as this attack,
Oh, wow.
while others see it as this, necessary reckoning with the past. And the director using 35mm, that adds to it.
How so?
Well, think about it, that grainy, kind of old school look.
Right.
It visually connects the past and the present. Like, it blurs the lines and makes me wonder if those dark times are really gone.
That's a really good point. So it's not just a film, it's like this mirror reflecting Brazil's complicated relationship with its own history.
Yeah, exactly.
So what about Torres herself? Like, what's her take on all of this? I mean, she's right in the thick of it.
Well, from what I've read, she seems remarkably level-headed about it all. She's honest about the film's dark subject matter, but she sees it as this universal story about power and truth and justice. Not about dwelling on the past, but understanding how it shapes us today.
It's so much bigger than just another award show, isn't it?
It really is. It's about a whole country kind of grappling with its identity on a global stage.
And then you throw Carnival into the mix.
Oh, don't even get me started on Carnival.
It's just wild to think about, the Oscars being broadcast.
Yeah.
And maybe even, celebrated in the streets during Rio's biggest party.
I know, right? Like, can you imagine?
I read that people are planning to dress up as Torres during Carnival.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's amazing.
It really shows her impact. She's become this symbol of national pride, a Brazilian talent reaching a global audience. And think about it. This super planned, structured event like the Oscars happening at the same time as the spontaneous, chaotic energy of Carnival.
It's a crazy contrast.
It is.
Speaking of Torres' journey, though, it wasn't all smooth sailing to get to this point, right? Like, she didn't just magically get an Oscar nomination overnight.
Oh, absolutely not. She's had her share of struggles, and even what she calls her biggest career flop.
Really?
Yeah, it really made her question everything, but it seems like it ultimately fueled her creativity even more.
Wow. So even with the family legacy and talent, she still had those moments of doubt and struggle, but she kept going, and now look at her.
Exactly. It's inspiring, isn't it? It really is, It's that reminder that Brazilian cinema, it's been making waves for a while now.
Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, City of God, that was a game changer.
City of God, exactly. And, of course, we can't forget about Central Station.
Oh, with Torres' mom.
Right, with Fernanda Montenegro, yeah.
I mean, that earned her an Oscar nomination back in, 98?
98, yep. But even with those successes, I feel like Brazilian cinema, it's still often categorized as, foreign or niche.
Right, like it's this separate thing.
Exactly. So Torres getting nominated this year, it feels different, like a real breakthrough.
Yeah, like the world is finally starting to, really see the depth and the breadth of Brazilian storytelling.
Yeah, and I'm Still Here, it's such a powerful example of that. I mean, it tackles some incredibly complex themes like political repression, historical memory, the search for truth and justice. It's a story that's deeply rooted in Brazil's past, but it's also universal.
Right, it's something anyone can relate to.
Exactly. Like if you've ever dealt with trauma or tried to come to terms with a difficult past, this film will resonate with you.
You know, it's interesting you say that about its universal appeal, because I was reading some reviews, and some critics are saying that I'm Still Here is actually quite controversially in Brazil.
Yeah, well, that's what makes it so fascinating. It's sparked all this heated debate, especially among people who lived through the dictatorship.
Wow. So it's hitting a nerve.
It is. Some people see it as this necessary way to confront the past, hold those responsible accountable.
Okay, yeah.
But others, they see it as reopening old wounds, like a painful reminder of something they'd rather forget.
So the film is almost like this catalyst, forcing people to face these unresolved issues.
Precisely. And even the way it's filmed adds to that. The director, he used 35mm film stock.
35 millimeter.
Yeah, which gives it that grainy, slightly faded look. It's nostalgic, but it also blurs the lines between the past and the present.
Like he's saying this isn't ancient history.
Exactly.
Wow. So even the technical choices are adding to the film's impact.
Absolutely. And that's what makes this whole story so compelling. It's not just about Fernanda Torres winning an award. It's about a nation grappling with its history, its identity, its place in the world, and it's all happening against this backdrop of Carnival.
Right. It's like these two completely different worlds colliding. The Oscars, all glitz and glamour, and then the raw energy of Carnival.
I know. It's incredible.
What must it be like for Torres to be at the center of that?
I think it speaks to her ability to connect with something universal, something that resonates beyond Brazil, beyond borders.
Right. She's more than just an actress at this point.
She's become a symbol of hope, maybe, of Brazilian talent.
And she's handling it all with such grace and humor, too.
Yeah, like that quote about the Oscars maybe being broadcast during Carnival. This could be dangerous if I don't win.
She's got a good sense of humor about it all.
Definitely. Makes her relatable.
And let's not forget, this success, it didn't happen overnight. I mean, Torres has talked about her struggles, her setbacks.
Oh, right, like that career flop she mentioned.
Yeah, it just shows, success is rarely a straight line.
Absolutely. It's about perseverance, learning from your mistakes, picking yourself up when you doubt yourself.
And she had her mom, Fernanda Montenegro, to look up to. What a mentor.
More than a mentor, I think. It's a shared passion, a legacy, and the fact that they're both in I'm Still Here in this film that's so connected to Brazil's past and present. I mean, that adds another layer to it, don't you think?
Oh, for sure. Can you imagine the conversations they must have had?
I can only imagine. And Montenegro's reaction to her daughter's nomination, it was so sweet. I'm just glad I'm still here to see it.
Oh, that's heartwarming.
Yeah, it's that beautiful passing of the torch feeling.
And it brings us back to this being such a pivotal moment for Brazilian cinema.
Right. Torres is building on what her mom and other filmmakers started.
And in doing so, she's inspiring a whole new generation.
Musicians, writers, dancers, all kinds of artists.
It's like Brazilian creativity. It's just exploding onto the world stage.
And the world is ready for it. We need diverse stories, perspectives that challenge the norm.
Like Torres.
Yeah, bold, authentic, unafraid.
It's an amazing success story, but it's important to remember the context. Brazil is a complex place.
Right. I'm Still Here isn't just a feel-good film. It's forcing viewers to look at some hard truths about the dictatorship, about the fight for justice, about accountability.
It's a reminder that we can't ignore those realities, even as we celebrate artistic achievements.
And that's where art is so powerful. It can spark those conversations, those difficult but necessary dialogues.
Like I'm Still Here is doing right now.
Exactly, a national conversation about the past, the present, the future of Brazil.
Wow. This is a lot to process.
It is, isn't it? Maybe we should take a moment to let it sink in.
Yeah, a pause before we tackle the bigger picture.
A good idea. We'll be back in a bit to explore what this all means for Brazilian cinema and beyond.
All right, we're back, and wow. I don't know about you, but I'm still processing all of that. Fernanda Torres' story, it's taken us on such a ride.
It really has. I mean, from career setbacks to family legacy to political controversy, and then, throw Carnival in the mix. It's a lot to take in.
So before we wrap this up, I want to bring it back to our listener. What are the big takeaways here? Why should they care about all of this?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is Fernanda Torres' story. It's a testament to resilience. She faced challenges, had those moments of self-doubt, but she never gave up. Right.
Like her journey shows that success, it's rarely a straight line. There are going to be bumps in the road.
Exactly. And her success, it's not just about her, It's shining a light on Brazilian cinema as a whole.
Yeah, I think for a long time people thought of Brazilian film as this niche thing, but I'm Still Here is proving that these stories, they have global appeal.
Absolutely. And it's like a door has opened. We're seeing all these new filmmakers, actors, artists from Brazil who are pushing boundaries, experimenting, bringing fresh perspectives.
It's like Brazilian cinema is having this moment.
Yeah,
And Fernanda Torres is right at the forefront.
leading the charge. And she's doing it all with, grace and humor.
Right. That quote about the Oscars maybe being broadcast during Carnival.
Classic.
It's like she doesn't take herself too seriously, you know?
But it's important to remember, I'm still here. It deals with some serious issues.
Oh, absolutely. The legacy of the dictatorship, that's not something to take lightly.
Right. It would be easy to get caught up in the excitement of the Oscars and Carnival and everything, but this film is forcing people to confront some uncomfortable truths.
Yeah. It's a reminder that art, it's not always about escapism, right?
Right. It can be a catalyst for, deeper reflection, for important conversations.
I Am Still Here is definitely doing that. It's a mirror to Brazil's complex past.
And it's raising questions about the role of art in society. Should art comfort us or challenge us?
Those are big questions, and I don't think there are easy answers.
But Fernanda Torres, she's become a part of that conversation.
So as we wrap things up here, any final thoughts for our listeners?
Just stay curious. Seek out stories that challenge your worldview, that make you think differently. And Brazilian cinema, it's full of stories like that.
Well said. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive. We hope you enjoyed this journey into Brazilian cinema. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.